All right, today we're diving into one of the most widespread and, frankly, one of the most bizarre success stories in the entire animal kingdom. They might seem slow, maybe a little slimy, but they have conquered nearly every habitat on Earth. And they did it using an evolutionary strategy that is so strange it almost defies belief. Let's get into it. You've seen these guys your whole life, in the garden, on the beach, maybe even on your dinner plate. But these seemingly simple creatures, the snails, the slugs, the whelks, they are hiding a pretty dramatic secret. We're talking a 180-degree plot twist that's written right into their DNA. So first, let's just get a sense of scale here. We're talking about the class Gastropoda, and when I say successful, I really mean it. This isn't just some small branch on the mollusk family tree. This is the trunk. They are, by a huge margin, the most dominant and diverse group of mollusks on the entire planet. And the name itself gives us our first big clue. Gastropoda comes from the Greek for belly foot. And that's literally what they are. These are the animals that glide through the world on a muscular stomach. It's a really simple name for a deceptively complex group of animals. And the variety is just staggering. You've got your common garden snail, sure, but also the shellless sea slugs, these beautiful conchs, and the rock-clinging limpets. They've adapted to live in the deepest oceans, in freshwater rivers, and even our own backyards. This incredible diversity all stems from one brilliant, fundamental blueprint. So how did they pull it off? How did they become so successful? Well, let's peel back the shell and take a look at the fundamental body plan, the gastropod blueprint that made them such amazing survivors. At first glance, it might look kind of simple, right? But this body plan is an incredibly sophisticated machine built for survival. Let's break down the 4 key components that form the blueprint for every single gastropod out there. So up front, you've got a distinct head with sense organs to check out the world. Their engine is that muscular foot they glide on. The mantle, well, that acts like a little factory, building the shell. And finally, there's the visceral mass, and this is the key part. It's this soft, vulnerable bag that holds all of their essential organs. And this created a huge evolutionary puzzle. How do you take this soft, squishy bag of vital organs and not only keep it safe, but package it so efficiently that you can carry it around on your back? Well, evolution came up with 2 brilliant solutions. Let's start with the most obvious one. The creation of a portable, perfect spiral fortress. But as you're about to see, the shell is so much more than just a simple piece of armor. I mean, this shell is a masterpiece of multitasking. Yeah, of course, it protects them from being crushed or eaten, and for land snails, it's like a personal humidifier, stopping them from drying out. But it's also their skeleton, giving their muscles something to attach to, and it even acts as a calcium bank, storing this vital mineral for later. And this just shows you how elegant the design is. The shell grows from the apex, that's its oldest point, in a perfect logarithmic spiral. What that means is it can grow forever without changing its basic shape. Each new whorl, or turn, perfectly fits the growing animal inside. It's just beautiful mathematics. Now, a quick but really important detail. The direction of that coil is actually determined by their genes. Most shells are dextral, meaning they coil to the right. But some are sinistral, coiling to the left. It's a simple genetic switch, but it has huge implications for the snail's anatomy. And for an extra layer of security, a lot of marine snails have this incredible feature, the operculum. It's a tough, horny plate that's attached to their foot, and it works like a custom-fit trapdoor. When the snail pulls back inside its shell, the operculum seals the opening perfectly. So the shell was a total game changer, but it's the second solution that is truly mind-bending. It's a process so radical, it's hard to even wrap your head around, and it is the single defining event in the evolution of every single gastropod. I want you to really think about this for a second. Imagine that when you were a baby, your entire torso, all your organs, everything, twisted around a full 180 degrees, while your head and your feet just stayed put. I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it is exactly what happens to a gastropod. This event is called torsion. It's a rapid, dramatic, counterclockwise twisting of that entire visceral mass we were just talking about. And it happens very early in their development, when they're still just tiny, free-swimming larvae. So it happens in 2 stages. First, a powerful muscle contraction literally yanks everything 90 degrees around. Then, slower growth patterns finish the rest of the twist. And the final result is just astonishing. What used to be at the back of the animal, its gills, its anus, is now at the front, sitting directly on top of its head. And check out what this does internally. The once straight digestive tract gets wrenched into a U shape. The main nerve cords, which used to run parallel, are now twisted into a figure eight. It completely replumbs and rewires the entire animal. And the obvious question is, why? Why on earth would evolution favor such a bizarre and, let's be honest, seemingly problematic design? Because as strange as it all sounds, this radical redesign was a key ingredient in their global conquest. This wasn't some weird evolutionary mistake, it was a masterstroke. And this brings us right back to our original point. Torsion, combined with that brilliant shell, is precisely why they became the largest and most successful class of mollusks. It all comes together. So let's recap the keys to their victory, right? They developed an incredibly efficient and protective fortress they could carry on their back. They kept a simple but super versatile body plan that could be adapted for land, sea, or freshwater. And most importantly, they went through that bizarre 180-degree twist. It brought their gills and sense organs to the front, which let them better sample the water ahead of them and pull into their shell headfirst for way better protection. You know, the story of the gastropod is such a powerful lesson in how evolution works. It shows us that sometimes the weirdest, most counterintuitive solution can be the very thing that leads to world domination. It really makes you wonder what other incredible evolutionary stories are unfolding right under our noses, just waiting to be explained.